final archetype has finally been revealed for Phantom Revenge. Hey guys, Otager back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the third and final archetype for Phantom Revenge. So we've already seen the Hecka Hands and the Aeneacraft archetypes, one of which was Fusion, the other one was Flip. It's time to take a look at the Synchro archetype, which is going to be called Killertune. Before we do jump on into the archetype, though, I have noticed that a great deal of you that are watching this video right now are not currently subscribed to the channel, so if you like competitive-based content, in-depth guides, and more, consider subscribing to the channel, but also don't forget to leave a like on this video and comment down below your thoughts on this archetype. And if you would like to further support the channel, consider joining my community Discord, following me over on Twitch, or using my TCG affiliate link and my Dueling Guard affiliate link. All links will be in the description down below. Alright, so like I said, this is a Synchro archetype, and funny enough, this is actually a fun little gimmicky Synchro archetype where every monster in the archetype are tuners, and the Synchro monsters just require a bunch of different tuners, so it's like just math. You don't have to really worry too much about having tuners because everybody's a tuner. To start, we have Killertune Mix, a wind level 2 warrior tuner, 100 attack, 2000 defense. If this card on the field would be used as material for a Synchro monster, you can also use a tuner in your hand as material. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one non-level 2 Killertune monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And the second effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. So all the monsters are going to have this gimmick where if they're going to be used for Synchro material, you can use another tuner in your hand for the remainder of the Synchro material. And then they all have like this on summon effect or they're on the field effect, and then they all have a secondary effect that if they are used as Synchro material, do X thing. We then have Killertune Clip, a Dark Thunder tuner effect monster. It is 800 attack, 1000 defense. Same thing, if this card on the field to be used as Synchro material, you can use a tuner in your hand. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect is during your opponent's main phase. If this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can special summon this card. Then immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon one tuner Synchro monster. So it's kind of like a pseudo Hoppier Squadron because it activates on your opponent's turn, and then it immediately Synchro summons. However, it has to Synchro summon a tuner Synchro monster. The second effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, banish one random card from your opponent's extra deck face down. This one is like really good. Like all of the new archetypes for this set all have like some form of hand rip or ripping from the extra deck. So it's very interesting to see like all three of these archetypes feel very unique, unlike a lot of archetypes we've gotten in the past where they just all feel like the same archetype with different names. So I'm definitely liking that they all feel different and that they do their own thing. We then have Killertune Rico, a Fire Fiend level 3 tuner. It is 1500 attack, 800 defense. And then again, if it's on the field and you're going to use a Synchro material, you can use a tuner. You can only use first, second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one non-level 3 Killertune monster from your deck or graveyard to hand. And then the second effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it. So it's just like the opposite of the level 2. The level 2 adds a non-level 2 to hand, so it would add this, whereas this adds a non-level 3, which means it can add one of the other two. But the level 2, when it's used as material, can pop a monster. This one can pop a spell or trap. Pretty much the same theme we've been seeing, where there's always one monster that interacts with monsters and the other one interacts with spells and traps in some way, shape, or form, whether they're adding or popping. This is no different. However, the cool little thing here is that this kind of is like a board breaker thing, because you just normal summon the one guy, use this and that one to Synchro summon into the level 5 that we're going to talk about here in a minute, and then you can pop a monster and a spell or trap in one go, which is pretty strong. Moving on to the Synchro monsters, though, we have Killertune Trackmaker. It's a light machine tuner Synchro effect monster. It's a level 4 attack, 0, 2500 defense. It requires one Killertune tuner and one tuner monster. So they all will require a Killertune tuner, if I'm correct, whereas they're pretty generic after that. They just need another tuner to go along with it. And then same thing, if it's on the field, it's going to be used as Synchro material, you can use a tuner in the hand because they just kind of keep climbing. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is Synchro summoned, you can add a Killertune card from deck to hand. And the second effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can return one card your opponent controls to the hand. Moving on to the level 5, we have a Killertune Limix, a Dark Warrior tuner Synchro monster, 1500 attack, 2000 defense, level 5. For the materials, it does require the Killertune Mix, which is the first level 2 we talked about, and then one tuner monster. So there is some strict requirements for some of these cards, but you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is it gains 1500 attack while your opponent has a tuner in their field or graveyard. a little specific, but depending on like the mirror match, this could go crazy, or just like other synchro decks. The second effect is during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card. Take 2 tuners from your graveyard except synchro monsters, add to your hand and special summon the other. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon 1 synchro tuner monster. So it tributes itself for costs, and it can special back 2 guys, one of which is going to go to the field and the one's going to go to your hand. And as we know, you can use tuners from the hand for material, so it's basically like specialing both of them, and then it immediately synchro summons into a synchro tuner monster. Then we have Killertune Red Seal, a dark fiend synchro monster. We have to emphasize dark because light fiends have been plaguing the format for a long time now. Level 5, attack 1700, defense 2400. Materials is Killertune Rico as a requirement, and then 1 tuner monster. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is gains 300 attack for each tuner in the graveyard. Second effect is increase the level of monsters your opponent controls with 1700 or less original attack by 1. That could maybe come up for like Ritual or other synchro decks because it will really like fuck with them. The third effect is during the main phase quick effect, you can banish 1 tuner from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Not bad. That's not bad at all. I have yet to see like really how you're getting like your banished materials back, but I guess the point is like you're kind of blowing them out. And on top of that, you are kind of this feels very board breaky, this archetype. It can still set up cards, you know, set up a board going first because, you know, they have the ability to quick synchro on your opponent's turn. This is a quick effect to negate a card on the field. So it has going first potential, but definitely feels like going second as well. We have Killertune, a Loudness Wall. It's a light machine tuner synchro monster. Attack 0, defense 3k, level 6. Materials are 1 tuner and 1 tuner monster. So it's like incredibly generic for other synchro decks, although I don't know how other synchro decks would utilize this, but you only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is while in the monster zone, other tuners you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. And then the second effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish 1 Killertune monster from your graveyard. Apply that monster's effect that activates when it's sent to the graveyard as synchro material. That's pretty strong because that basically means that you can like apply either the pop monster, pop spell, or rip from extra deck and banish it face down. That's pretty powerful. We do have 2 spells and 1 trap. The first one is Killertune Synchro. It is a quick play spell. You can activate a card with this name twice per turn. It's a, like I said, quick play, and it's add 1 Killertune card from your deck to your hand other than Killertune Synchro. Then you can synchro summon a synchro tuner monster. You can only special summon synchro tuner monsters for the rest of this turn. So it does hard lock you into synchro tuner monsters, but it is kind of generic. There are a lot of synchro tuner monsters other than these Killertune cards. Then we do have a field spell called Duke Joint Killertune. You can only use the third effect of this card once per turn. You can normal summon a tuner monster during your main phase in addition to your normal summon. The second effect is as long as your opponent has a tuner monster on the field or in their graveyard, increase the attack of your Killertune Loudness War by 3300. That can maybe make like synchro decks that you're going up against or the mirror match like really good because then your big boss monster is fucking huge. And then your third effect is you contribute 1 tuner monster you control as cost, add to your hand or special summon from your deck 1 Killertune monster. You can only special summon tuner monsters for the rest of this turn. So this one just hard locks you into tuner monsters, but that's okay because I have a feeling that's going to be the majority of the deck. But the fact that it contribute a generic tuner and then special summon out a Killertune is kind of good because that means that like the field spell plus a tuner monster is still just like full combo. And tuner monsters, like depending on the tuners, like the Synchrons can do pretty good. Like a lot of the Synchrons can even just come back from the graveyard, like Jet Synchron or Revolution Synchron. So like I could definitely see this playing with like the Synchron monsters maybe. And then we do have a trap card, Killertune Playlist. It's a normal trap. You can only activate this card's name twice per turn. So if you have 2, you can use both effects, or you can just use 1 effect twice because it doesn't restrict you out of each effect. It just says the card's name twice a turn. The first effect is you can target 1 Killertune monster you control or in your graveyard. Use one of the following effects. You can only special summon tuner monsters for the rest of this turn. Activate its effect as if it were sent to the graveyard as material for a synchro summon, or return it to your hand. So again, this is really strong because you can use 2 in the same turn. So you Say, for example, use the one that rips from your opponent's extra deck and banishes it face down. Then you summon out the boss monster, copy the effect, do it again. Use this trap card, copy its effect, and do it again. Second trap card, copy its effect, do it again. You're just ripping out your opponent's extra deck. But you also, these trap cards have the potential to be a monster pop, a spell trap pop, just like the Synchro monster. So there's a lot of just like interaction between this trap card and the big boss Synchro monster. So honestly, kind of digging it. But the benefit of also being able to return it to your hands, so that way maybe like you return the one that can quick synchro on your opponent's turn, also pretty powerful. And that's really it for the Killertune archetype reveal. So we officially have all 3 archetypes for Phantom Revenge revealed. I believe we have 2 cards for the set not revealed yet. One is for the flip effect monsters, and the other one is for this, because they always reveal one final card for the archetype later, like a couple weeks after the archetype is revealed. So we are still waiting on like the 2 final cards, and Hecka Hands already had theirs revealed, which is, I believe, just called Hecka Hands. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you all think down in the comment section below. Out of the 3 archetypes, Killertune definitely seems more my style. Like, it's a neat gimmick. That being said, I'm not a big fan of any of these archetypes. Like, not a fan enough to at least be excited to play them. Now, things could change because the set comes out in December, so we still have 4 months till this set comes out. But I'm not as excited for these archetypes as I was for, say, Malice or Yummy. Like, the decks out of Crossover Breaker and the decks out of Justice Hunters just seemed a lot more exciting than the decks out of Phantom Revenge. I don't know, maybe it's because, like, I'm still on the Justice Hunters train and I'm not really trying to look forward to another deck while I'm in the middle of playing a deck I just got. But I don't know, these archetypes, like, they're cool, they're unique, and if I had to pick one, I would be picking Killertune, but I'm not vibing with any of them enough to really be like, oh my god, I can't wait for this deck to come out. But like I said, I am curious to hear what you all think down in the comment section below. So don't forget to leave a like on this video. And also, if you're not already and you like competitive-based content, consider subscribing to the channel for more. But with that, I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!